24/7 Teachers Training, a lesson-by-lesson tutorial for homogeneous teaching. We are an EdTech textbook publishers.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear teacher. I welcome you on behalf of the Snowman publishers to an online tutorial on section 2 of the chapter 3 of Science Grade 4, which covers the topic diseases. The video will cover common communicable diseases, some non-communicable diseases. So let's get started with the teaching plan. Like in every lesson, welcome the students with a cheerful smile and say Assalamu alaikum. Ask them to sit and say, how are you? Introduce the topic of learning and write diseases in prominent letters on the board. Start the lesson by asking simple questions such as, what do you know about a disease or bimari? Can you name some of the diseases? What does a person do when he or she gets a disease? Begin the lesson with an interesting activity. Have 5 A4 size cutouts of a germ prepared. Ask 4 or 5 volunteer students to stand at the distance of a meter from each other. Give the germs to one of them and tell him or her to try to pass one of these to another student from a distance. He or she won't be able to do it. Then tell him or her to move a few steps closer and pass it. This time, he or she will easily pass it. Guide your volunteers to repeat this in a chain of 4 to 5 students. Ask your class about their observation with the help of these questions. Did you see that germ was not passed due to distance? What happened when the germ holder moved a little closer? Which person had the germs at the start? How many students hold the germs now? Use this activity to conclude that germs cause diseases. With close contact, some of them can pass from people to people. Such germs cause contagious diseases. Use the textbook to explain contagious diseases. Ask the students, can you guess where the germs enter a body from? Explain that germs are light and can spread in the air. They enter through mouth and nose when somebody sneezes or coughs near us, or from our hands if we touch contaminated things of a patient. Tell the students about common communicable diseases with the help of the textbook. Ask them if they have ever seen a patient with any of these diseases. Draw 3 columns on the board and label them hepatitis, tuberculosis, and polio. Write the symptoms of each in the column when you talk about that disease. Use this chart to revise the symptoms of these diseases at the end of the lesson. Ask the students, what care should we take when we visit a patient with a contagious disease? Encourage them to say the preventive measures you taught them. Help them to answer. Introduce non-contagious diseases by telling the students that some germs stay inside the human body and do not transfer from person to person. If possible, show them flashcards of contaminated food with flies, a person smoking, etc., and ask them, how can the things shown in the pictures make us sick? Build upon the discussion and explain that non-communicable diseases spread with unhealthy lifestyle, dirty food and water, smoking, and lack of exercise. Discuss some non-contagious diseases with the help of the textbook. Make a student read aloud in the classroom the methods of preventing diseases. Name each method and ask the students to raise hands to show which methods they are already following. Tell them to clap for themselves so that they feel appreciated for healthy habits. Encourage them to keep following them. For homework, you can ask the students to list all the healthy habits they practiced that day to prevent diseases. Thank you, Honorable Teacher, for your listening. Allah Hafiz.